If you're still in gold but looking to compete in high-stakes tournaments, Code Leagues is the perfect place to grow. It's the ultimate tournament where contestants can compete for real money and the ultimate glory. The winning team is also guaranteed a spot to play in the big leagues, where they will face off with Platinum, Diamond, and even Ruby players. I'm Vanathorn, fellow finals player and the new Little Leagues caster for CødeBreakers, and in this video, you'll see how some of the final games went. And if you want to join future tournaments, make sure you head on over to CødeBreakersTF.com and register for our next upcoming event. See you in the arena.
There is a lot of open space to play with on Las Vegas. So in theory, this should be a very strong map for Team Blindside to be able to open up some lines of sight and deny Sushis those openings. But instead, it's being used against them as we see Doji even getting in on that long range action to take one. Don't get me wrong, Doji does go down and turn, but either way, this is a very comfortable position for Sushis. By the time that any real pressure comes in towards cash out, they should be able to coin. Unless Blindside just really runs it down, which is kind of risky.
And you see that Blindside got the defib there. Really good stuff by their medium. Got him up really quick. And now they're at the advantage. Well, actually, Ruby Sushi just got back as well, but goes right back down. Blue Jay, their star player, goes down, and it does look like Blindside's going to be the ones that are taking over. Ruby Sushi's not going to allow that easily, though. They are going to show some aggression, and look at that. Just like that, it's a 2v2. Blindside and Ruby Sushi's both trying to make it happen here, but Blindside not looking too good, and Blindside goes down. Oh my goodness. Ruby Sushis was able to hold on to that even without Blue Jay. They did an amazing job of just making sure that Blindside wasn't going to steal that for free. They were like, hey, this is our box. Just because Blue Jay is down doesn't mean it's your box. And just great job by Ruby Sushis. I don't think Blindside's going to have enough time to catch up here.
Potentially not. It doesn't look like it. Well, yeah, it's kind of tough to call. They're going to have very low time. But either way, I just want to say the proof is now in the pudding. You cannot say that Blue Jay on the sledge is who is carrying this team. Absolutely not. That is not even a theory that can even be entertained. Vivid and Doji, when Blue Jay went down, was able to hold down the fort in spectacular fashion. Again, the whole team comp is dedicated to being able to pick apart one by one and make the other team incredibly uncomfortable in those close quarters fights. Their whole comp is kitted towards that. It just happens to be that the bread and butter comes from Blue Jay and the sledge, but they don't fully depend on it. And the ability to maintain the cash out is the proof that their team is dedicated to that mission.
And for those of you guys watching right now, we want to see the chat going crazy and booming. Put in who you think is going to win. We see half of you guys rooting for Sushi and rooting for the sledge, but the other half is saying W Blindside. So right now, we want to hear your favorite team. Who do you think is going to win? Show them your support. Show them that you're here. Show them that you care and that they came to play. Winner is going to win some big bucks, I heard, so it's going to be pretty good to see. And they are actually playing for some real stakes on the line. Ruby Sushi's, two of them are down right now, and it does look like Blindside is going to be the one that's in control here. And last time Sushi was in control and they held it down. Now will Blindside be the ones that are going to be able to repeat that and keep it for themselves?
I like this little pocket that they're playing around, but it makes me nervous because it leaves them open to a drop down. That's the one thing that I'm worried about. But right now they are keeping the distance and able to poke and prod, keep Ruby Sushis away, and keeping Blue Jay a little bit poked on health so that when the gap is closed, they can burst it down instead of dying to that sledge. I do like that. I think that is going to help them quite a bit here. But it does look like we are seeing one who's close to the cash out, gonna break the line of sight. This is exactly what Ruby Sushis does so well. Goes for the tap, but it drops down, but Blue Jay drops down with it. That might be a mistake. Look at this open space they have by the stairway. We see Sushi's completely boxed in. Doji goes down. Blue Jay is half. This is a dangerous position to be in. They're gonna have to make a quick recovery here. And it does look like Blindside will back off, so they will be able to get that recovery. It's halftime. We do see the pressure. It looks like Blindside has mounted an attack, but now you've given the closing gap for Blue Jay to try to put some damage down. Takes the portal back up, able to take one. That's gonna be Bacon now down. burst damage very low. Blue Jay almost down, does get finished off, and that is thanks to Virtue. That's huge, and the white goes through.
Wow.
There's still time for one more attack on the cash out, but it's looking like this is gonna be neck and neck. The spacing from blindside, brilliantly done, and not giving Sushis the opportunity to properly reset.
Yeah, this is going to be tough for Sushi here. I don't know if they're going to have time. I mean, by the time they get back, what do they got? 10 seconds to get there? We've seen some crazy stuff from Blue Jay. You already know he's going to try to get there immediately. He's going to be dome shielding around A and just immediately going for steal while his team heals and tries to keep him up. Blindside did a great job there of just maintaining that cash box, making sure that Sushi, was not able to steal it there. And, we see it there. Blindside is able to take it, and what we've really seen in this final game is steals are very hard in the finals, and really it's the one who controls the vault and plugs the box is the one with the advantage. Both times in this final, the one who plugged the vault was able to hold it down. So the winner of this vault right here, this might be really important. Whoever plugs might actually win it all. So this is going to be a big game right here.
Oh yeah, no, the fight really doesn't begin at the cash out. It begins here on the vault. We're already seeing Vivid taking quite a bit of damage. But I do want to say that Blindside's ability to create these funnels on a Sushi is deadly. Blue Jay's biggest mistake was dropping down when the cash out was dropped. He was not set up in order to do that, and the distance was too great and the damage mounted. That's where it really started to fall apart, especially with Doji trying to salvage that misstep was really what sealed the deal. And forcing that revive recovery that was really untenable, especially with the stairway so close for Blindside to pack on the aggression. Speaking of, we do see some initiative coming in from Ruby Sushi's getting big damage onto Virtue. Now the grapple coming into full effect, trying to clear that last player, but can't find Virtue. And instead, that invisibility, that's why it's meta, folks, able to come in with big LH1 burst damage to finish him off. And with Doji up on the roof, doesn't look like Sushi's is going to be able to get that revive. But they still have the vault in hand, and here comes Virtue to try to rapid fire close that gap.
Yeah, and even with Doji down, Ruby Sushi in control here, and they're about to plug. This might be really, really important, and if they plug here, this might just secure the victory. We've seen Ruby Sushi hold it down before, and now a Blindside is going to try. Yes, it is a best of 3. So we're going to see who wins it here, and that's going to determine game number 1 for the finals. Let's see right here. Yep. They are playing underneath. Look at that. Blue Jay ready to go with that sledgehammer. He's going to knock it down if they try to steal. Blindside just trying to find out where they are, get some info on exactly where they are. Oh, he's getting a little bit shot in the back there, but really, really good shield there. Throws an explosive. Doesn't hit anyone, though. Not too good. We actually saw some really cool stuff from Blindside. Not your left, not your right, but your Blindside. That's a hard quote right there. Blindside, shout out to them. Amazing quote. We see that in the chat. People are saying that's tough. Oh, we got some good shots coming in. Ooh, man. Blindside just trying to hang on right now. Heavy goes down. Medium kind of scrambling, trying to get the res. Will he get the heal? Yes, he got it. And Ruby Sushi still fighting them out. But Bacon taking a bunch of shots right now. Man, will Ruby Sushis be able to hold it down? Yes, they did. Oh my goodness, takes out Blindside. And it looks like Ruby Sushis is going to take game number 1 here.
Yeah, it's certainly looking like it. I mean, this is brilliant gap closure and coverage too, but also too isolating players from Team Blindside. This has been a gap that a lot of teams have been struggling with, but in that tight corridor, that pocket on first floor, that was particularly brutal. They wanted to take that pocket to try to go for revives and recover, but instead it became a death funnel turned against them. Close quarters, that's where Sushi shine, and despite the struggles, they were able to carve out a spot to make it work. And yeah, an immediate squad wipe. You're not going to be able to recover from that. Sushis, they take the first of the best of 3.
And Blindside fans not too happy about that one, but they are going to get another chance because it is a best of 3. So Ruby Tuesday. Hello. Rubies take game number 1, and they will be moving on. Let's see who the standout players were. I mean, Blue Jay doing really, really good. Blindside, just we're seeing negatives here. 3 and 6, 3 and 5. Not looking too good. I mean, a lot of the fights were really, really tough for them. A lot of it was just maintaining the box. I mean, as I said before, whoever was able to plug was able to hold it down. It's really, really hard to steal here. They're able to set traps, and just maintain it really, really easily. And I think that affected the outcome here.
Absolutely. Both these teams are very setup heavy. But one thing I do want to point out that kind of throws us a wedge into all of the analysis. Look at Vivid's performance here. 5-1 with 4,000 support. I mean, Vivid has really been a linchpin here in keeping these players alive, right? When Doji gets down at a weird spot, Vivid's there with a defense to bring him back into the fight. Blue Jay takes significant damage from a risky dive, and Vivid is there to mitigate that damage and keep the pressure. Because the last thing that you want your Sledge player to do is have to concede and back off. And that is not something that you have to worry about when you have a player like Vivid who's able to lay down the lead, defib up, and get those heals to ensure that Blue Jay can continue to push forward. When you have a Sledge player who trusts their medium to ensure that they will sustain them, you would be surprised how ridiculously far that player can get in closing that gap.
I think that goes for all heavies. I mean, playing any type of heavy and you get a free heal from your medium, you just walk with confidence. You know you're not going to die. You could just get kills, run through, and especially with something like the Sledgehammer taking everyone out. I mean, we saw it right here from Ruby Sushis. They were doing really, really good. Next map just announced. We're going to be heading into Galaxy Estates. Now, we were just talking about this in the finals. Galaxy Estates is going to be really, really interesting because there's going to be a lot of strategy that kind of changes as the map is, the map's interactive. You have to decide whether you're going to go from the top or whether you're going to take the speed tunnel. You have to decide whether you want to be hit by the gravity that takes you up, or you just want to stay on the ground level. So there's going to be a lot more decisions that come in with the gravity and also the little trampolines. You got to make sure, if you hit that, you got to jump and slide. You got to hit that little thing, So we're going to see the little trampolines play a big part in this next game.
Yeah, the amount of built-in maneuverability in Galaxy Estates truly does make it one of the most interactable maps that I have seen out of all the maps. It really does take the cake. You have so much built in that you can play around that just isn't really available. The only thing that would probably come close was Las Vegas when the laser traps was still a thing back in the day. But otherwise, I mean, this is just, there's so much that you can play with, especially the giant tower in the center of the map. That one's always interesting. And seeing that tower get destroyed produces some of the most chaotic results that I have ever seen out of any game. I mean, the first time I played it, I was gobsmacked at just how chaotic things got when that tower went down. It really is that unpredictable. So the team that can adapt the best on the fly, I really think will take the cake here.
And up, and away they go. Here we go. Game number 2, Team Blindside versus Ruby Sushis. So good stuff right here. Ruby Sushis looking to win another one and win it all. Blindside trying to come on back and win a game to bring them into the next game. We're going to see some early tags. Doji gets hit and fried, just sitting at 19 HP, kind of scrambling, finding his footing. But look at that. He's right back to heals, and it's 3v3. Both teams playing smart positions, but it does look like Ruby Sushis is going to maintain control, trying to get that box in the cash out. As we know, if you get it in the cash box, big advantage. So they're trying to get that here, and Blindside is doing everything in their power to try to stop them. In the back, you can see Bacon Roll trying to get him, but gets winched, and another slam. Oh my goodness, Blue Jay takes one out, and another one goes down for Blindside. 3v1, Ruby Sushis again on top, and it looks like they're going to get the plug here. And another shot here. Doji now going down. Heel Fox just trying to hang in there, but cannot match up to the Sledgehammer. Ruby Sushis will win the cash out. And man, they have been dominant over Blindside. Blindside is really going to have to go back to the locker room and discuss some strategies, try to figure out their way around the sledge, try to figure out how they can stop the heal, and try to find Doji in those off angles, trying to get everywhere from the top to the bottom with that grapple. Man, what a game.
Well, and I think also, too, this really comes down to Blindside's light virtue. They have a really tough ask here, you know, having to figure out a way to, you know, finish the job, make sure Blue Jay can't recover, but also kind of dealing with that wedge, you know, Doji, who can really put on that pressure. I mean, look at what Doji's already done to heal Fox, bringing them down to about half HP. So there's a lot of pressure here that is going to be put on the light in order to really break Sushis. That's really the biggest breaking point that's available. But Doji putting themselves up in an untenable position against a heavy Shack 50 at close range. That's exactly the circumstance you want to be in. The Hulk very low. Still got a melee who is in full fighting capability, but Blue Jay's the last one alive, unsupported, able to take one, able to take a second maybe? Trying to close the gap, but the light's too fast, and you will have a heavy bacon to finish the job. That steal is as good as theirs. Still plenty of time to try to go for a steal, but it's gonna be a little bit tough now that Blindside has set up and they can open this all the way up.
Crazy, crazy stuff. And we actually have our first ever steal in the final rounds. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Blindside looking to shake things up, as they weren't the ones to plug it, but they were the ones to take out Ruby there. And hey, now the cash out is theirs. Ruby Sushi's trying to get it last minute, but I don't know if they're going to be able to. Not a lot of time, but we've seen it before. Blue Jay going for a steal, and I don't know if Blindside is going to be able to take him out here, and they almost do, but Blindside's able to hang on to it, and everyone goes down for Ruby Sushi. It's just Doji. Blindside does a great job of hanging on to that cash out. Oh my goodness, and Blindside wins it all. Now that was looking close. We've seen it before. Blue Jay really showing up and trying to get those steals. Throws that dome down and just says, I'm gonna steal this thing. Really tried to get there. A lot of effort, but Blindside just slightly able to push them off and maintain the cash out for themselves. First one's headed on over to the next vault. They are trying to get that head start before Ruby Sushi's is fully settled, and it does look like they're gonna get it. Heading on over to vault number 2. Ruby Sushi still is nowhere to be found, and here they come. They are a little bit behind, and underneath, they're trying to get there, but they decide they'd rather take some picks here and trying to get some damage. Will they winch him in? Oh, there's one by themselves and 3 of the pinks, and they do. They winch him in. Sledgehammer going out for Blue Jay, takes one out, and another one goes down for Blindside, and Ruby Sushi's is now on top, taking control of this vault.
Yeah, big damage going out. Blindside getting taken in for a whirl, absolutely wide. But, I mean, you also had Blindside who wanted to keep vertical, wanted to try to keep those longer angles, but they had nothing prepared for that outside fight that was broken out. We saw that many players from Blindside were just completely isolated. And against a team with burst damage like what you see from Doji with the grapple, and then you also have the winch and the sledge, that's the last thing you want, is for anyone to be isolated. You need to be able to play close together, but not so close that the RPG breaks you apart. There's a fine line there, and it looks like Blindside struggled to try to find the answer there. That's why the vault is in their hands. Either way, we're going to see a big RPG. It's going to bring down Vivid and Blue Jay down to half HP. They're now looking for the hunt, but they also have those barricades, which is blocking off Bacon from being able to confirm that kill. They walk through the wall, almost gets one, does manage to finally get it, but Blue Jay with the sledge was able to take one, but cannot get anything more than that. Doji now with the vault, last one alive. Very low, or I guess not very low now. Blindside able to get those heals up, but either way, the odds are not in their favor. Has to go and run for the hills.
Yeah, you could definitely see it there. Blindside again. We talked about this earlier, that double heal being super good. I mean, technically both of them are on double heals, so I mean, it's been fantastic for both teams, just making sure they stay together, stay alive. And we're seeing a fight right here that could potentially happen in the speed tunnel as Orange makes their way over. Pink trying to get it in, but they're going to meet somewhere in the middle. Wow, and look at this movement by Doji. Tries to get all the way up through the glass, but doesn't quite get it. Has to take the long way around, and unfortunately, that might have been a mistake they might not be able to recover from. Tries to get the shots with the FAMAS, but doesn't quite get it. So Doji is alive and will take it up and away here. Oh my goodness. Blindside getting kind of hit here. Virtue trying to stick in there, but he's invisible, can't see. Sledgehammer goes out, but goes down. Blindside taking the advantage of this fight. And the cash box is not plugged in here. Vault is still open to be plugged anywhere they want. And look at that, Ruby Sushis goes down. Blindside able to take that. Blindside showing that they do not want to be out of this fight. Just because Ruby Sushis won game number 1 doesn't mean that they're going to win game number 2. And Blindside has put in quite the effort. They're looking to win game number 2 here, so that way they could secure their spot in the final game number 3.
Well, and I like what Blindside really did there is they focused their fire and went for more of a burst fire. You don't have to absolutely just keep full distance away from the sledge or from Doji. It's really more about outbursting, right? When you both are rocking heals, the biggest thing is who is on the lower side of the health curve such that you can't really get a full recovery. That's kind of the breaking point that you really want to put the pressure on. And it seems like Blindside has found that timing in order to really break Sushi from getting their maximum damage potential, even at close range. But it does look like they are rapidly advancing. They want to get this stack broken up, isolated, and destroyed. But that witch is actually gonna slingshot one of them far, far away. It may be time to try to go for a steal here, but Blindside coming in from below is looking to rapidly intercept, especially 2 from above. Great positions to punish Sushis, especially 2 at half HP. This is going to be a very punishing fight for Sushis to try to recover from, but despite that, the sledge closes the gap on stairs, able to take 1. Doji very low, does manage to get away. Full fighting capability from Sushi still up at hand, but Blindside still has a denial available to try to shut down any steal attempt. They're going to go for it either way.
Man, and Blindside is just holding on to this. They are making sure that Ruby is not stealing. Multiple attempts have happened, but multiple attempts have failed. And you can see they're going to need to kill them here. There's no way that they're going to let them steal for free. And Heavy goes down for Blindside. That could be looking good for Ruby here as they take out another. Crap. And now here we go. Blue Jay looking to steal, but it's actually going to be their medium that goes for the steal. Will he be able to get it? And yeah, Ruby Sushi now able to get it with 2 of them out of the count. Light trying to maintain height, but he was not going to jump in there with that sledge. Gets taken out from the top, and Ruby Sushis does an amazing job of going in there, taking control, and stealing that cash out.
Wow, what to me is crazy is how even though Sushi was low on health, the way that they were able to cut off lines of sight was crucial, and they were able to still find one to cut off. Grabbing Heel Fox with that winch easily was one of the biggest plays that ensured that Blindside could not capitalize on any momentum they had built on Sushi when it comes to that health war of attrition. But on top of that, it also gave them an opening to go for the steal, forcing the Blindside to play close, and that was the trap that really gave them that point.
And look at that, the chat's going crazy. This is a game, and a game it is. Look at this. Team Blindside with control of the box, really trying to maintain their momentum here. Are they going to be able to plug it? Ruby Sushi's holding it down, making sure that they don't. Maintaining that height, and oh, he's getting beamed. Heel Fox has to use the speed tunnel here to get through, but he's just getting shot. Oh, he's just got a sliver of health. Will he make it across? Speed tunnel really playing a big involvement in this game. Gets taken out. Heel Fox not able to make it, and now Ruby Sushis takes the box and starts to run. They're trying to plug this box. Are they going to take it back to D, or will they be going C here, as both teams are both in the same vicinity? This middle area is very, very cool. What an awesome fight is going on right now. Ruby Sushi's holding on while Blindside needs to pick up Heel Fox. And looks like they're going for a res here. Bacon resing Heel Fox as they need to work as a team. Oh, and the winch away from that. Oh, and he takes him out, not allowing the res here. Amazing job by Blue Jay. And that's why the sledgehammer has been such an important role in this game. He's just been making crazy plays, and Heel Fox, even though he coined, he's just gonna wipe. He's just trying to reset, and he's probably getting in the comms right now. They're probably saying reset. And wow, big job from the Ruby Sushis here. Amazing stuff by the sledge, specifically pulling him off of that heel, because hey, it would have been completely different. They would have had to take a 3v3 fight if he got that res off, but because he didn't get the res off, It was a big difference. And plus, he didn't get the res. He got killed, and then the other one got eliminated. So, man, it's going to be rough for Blindside to come back on this one. And Blindside is the one that, you know, it is in the risky spot. If they lose it here, they lose it all. Ruby Sushis don't want to play the next game. That gets more risky for them. They want to maintain this win and keep their momentum. And, you know, Blindside's going to have to really show up here.
Well, fortunately for them, they do establish that top side control immediately, and that is going to allow them to break up Sushi's lines of sight, especially with that sonar. Very nice positioning, as they're going to get a full ID on where everyone else, but those barricades are going to come in huge here, able to provide cover, allow for burst fire from Vivid. Great positioning, as well as intelligent use of utility. That's how you handle your setup. And that's going to create a real thorn, because if they want to hunt someone down, they're going to have to dive deeper than they're comfortable with. But it does look like Sushi's is going to break out of that, as they do want to mount a bigger offense. But I think that's going to be a potential mistake here, except for the fact that they're able to isolate the heavy here. This is big, significant damage. However, Blue Jay is struggling to get that last hit and does not make it. As we will see now, Joji being the last one alive. They are primed to try to go for a steal here. With all three of them stacked on this, doesn't look like that's going to be possible. The wipe goes through, and I'm going to be honest with you, folks. I think it's too late. Blindside have just saved themselves. Sushi, you can't dive that situation. When a res like that goes through, those are the moments where you have to realize you're overextending, and fighting it out outside was right into Blindside's turf.
Absolutely, and Blindside doing a great job of controlling that and making sure they take out Blue Jay. Chat, was that a little kiss? Did our spectator just give Blindside a kiss there? We might have to replay that, because that was really, really interesting. A little kiss for the win, but you could see I win, you lose. Great job by the Blindside, making sure that we head into game number 3 here. And we're going to see, will the Sledgehammer win, or will it be Blindside on top? You can see that the chat is going crazy. He says, we kiss the homies here. Hey, there we go. That confirms it right there.
We love to see it, Based. Man, yeah, this was incredibly close matchup. And I mean, if you look at the stat lines, there was really no big carry here. I mean, the closest you get was 8 and 5, 7 and 5. That's about it. That's not something that's, you know, anything too significant. But yeah, and now it comes down to this. I mean, both of these teams have just brought it down to the very last wire. I mean, we're talking, you know, 2-1, 2-1 again, map 3. I mean, they're really pushing this down to the absolute last moment that they possibly can. And we have been so appreciative and so fortunate to have such brawls show out in spectacular fashion.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, I don't know about you guys. Most people probably wouldn't expect a lot out of the Little Leagues, but you're seeing this is some real competition. We're seeing strategies. We're seeing good plays. We're seeing team composition. They are going all at it. Super exciting gameplay to see, especially for you guys at home. Golds, plats, there's a lot to learn from these strategies. I know myself, I'm seeing the sledge and I'm like, hey, I got to give that a try. Look at the winch sledge doing a lot. I mean, he's doing a whole lot for his team, as well as that cloak. There's a lot to try from these teams. I'm learning a lot. Hopefully you guys are learning a lot, because this is a competition. Woo! And we see right here, shout out to the casters, Piercing and Vanathorn. They're shouting us out. They said they love us. Let's go. W chat. Thank you guys. It's been so fun casting.
We appreciate
so
you.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks for hanging out with us. We're gonna be heading into this next game, and this is the final game. This is it. Piercing, who do you think's gonna win? Who you got? Who you got?
I don't know. I mean, my goodness, this has been nail biter after nail biter. I'm going to be honest. I think this is going to be one of the rare moments where I'm not going to make a call, not because I fear the caster curse. Don't get me wrong. That scares the hell out of me. I hate the caster curse. I'll call something and then the exact opposite happens. And it basically just says everything that I just said. We're just going to throw it out the window for one way or another. Cool. Okay. Screw me, I guess. But here I'm not going to call it, because I genuinely can't see, you know, anybody really having a specific edge here. This really is probably one of the tightest matchups that I have casted in my entire tenure of the finals thus far. I actually don't have a clue. I really don't. Because both of these teams have strong counters to each other, right? Sushi is very good at forcing blindside to come in closer and is great at punishing once the health gets a little bit low. But also too on blindside, they're able to take them on their own turf, close quarters, and they are able to create those gaps and punish when Sushi overcommits. I really don't know. I'm sorry, folks. I can't give you one.
Well, he can't give you one, but I can. Now, look, guys, blindside has been absolutely amazing, and they have been killing it. But I will say, from Ruby Sushi, there has been a lot of steal potential, and especially when Blue Jay gets in there and they're able to throw a dome, that's going to be tough for blindside, because there are going to be times where they throw a dome, and if they steal, they steal. It's going to be really tough for blindside to kind of counter that unless they bring something else to the table. I think last game we saw some glitch grenades go off. That may be a game changer because of all the util that's happening. If they're able to throw some glitch grenades, maybe some glitch traps, change up the pace a little bit, we're going to see some different stuff. But I do think Ruby Sushi might actually have a slight advantage, but you never know. Blindside could be on top. And also, blindside has that really cool phrase. Let me find it here again. Not your left, not your right, but your blindside. So, hey, Ruby Sushi is going to have to watch out. They're not on their left. They're not on their right. They're on their blind side. Heading on into the final game. Super excited. It's going to be on Las Vegas Stadium, I believe. Is that correct? Fortune Stadium. Fortune Stadium. We're getting intel from the inside. So Fortune Stadium is going to be the last one. So none of the shenanigans in Galaxy Estate. A little bit more of a clean map. A little bit more of a familiar map that these players have been playing on for a long time. So maybe some old strategies, maybe some different strategies, maybe some new strategies coming in from the teams. We're going to see right here what happens.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And this is going to be a weird map because there's both tight corridors and open spaces too. But there's also some interconnection to where you can really try to expand it. I think this map is going to come down to who has the better positioning here. I would say this map can really tilt either which way depending on how you navigate. If Sushi overcommits, I think they could really get stomped out here. However, I think if the blindside doesn't do their homework and prepping and making sure that they don't have to fall onto the blind side of their positioning, they could get badly hurt here. And already, Bacon is taking some damage trying to play from above, looking to try to get some shots out, but I wouldn't really consider the Shaq 50 the best weapon to try to do that, as they will be able to cross over handedly with very little resistance. Folks,
and look at this. Some good shots. Eliminates Virtue there. And will they be able to take this one here? Just a big fight in the middle. The sledge is back out. And takes out Heel Fox. Big sledge plays as it's just Bacon trying to hang on. Can he gets the shots? It's a 1v1. Gets the winch. Oh my goodness. Doesn't get the sledge in time, and Bacon actually wins that. Wow, that might be big. Even though they have not unlocked the vault, that's going to give them a little bit of momentum, because all they got to do is plug it to A, and they are going to get a massive advantage. Still 8 seconds left for Pink to come on back. Wow. We're going to see what happens here. Let's see.
I think there's going to be a whole other fight. I mean, but they're already fast on their way. You also have Virtue, who's hanging closer to where these guys are. I really do think that this is about to really pop off. I am interested to see how the glitch is going to help to allow them to get closer in on the Boundless, and also allow Doji to be able to poke more. That's something I've been looking for. We saw a little bit of a glitch, you know, in previous rounds, previous matchups, but I think it'll be very fascinating to see what they can pull off that great RPG. Huge damage. There's Doji.
Man.
So much for that glitch. That's not going to be an option. That's going to allow them to block off the Wrath of Vivid on that medium, who's been doing some pretty good work here. You know, leading into this, have been a real saver of Doji and Blue Jay when the damage gets rough. But in any case, Blue Jay's looking for an opening, playing by the stairway. But I'm going to be honest, Blue Jay's kind of stuck here, trying to melee out, get stuck on the pillar. Does finally get out, but Vivid's completely alone. That's a lot of pressure to have to put up with. Vivid goes down. Blue Jay trying to put some damage out, but can't quite finish the job on Bacon, as they do get the first or the second wipe with the first cash out point.
Yeah, and I thought that play there from Doji was pretty good. He used the grapple to get height. He just unfortunately got picked off, and it wasn't looking too good. Blindside gonna be hanging on to this right now. Gonna be winning this box unless Ruby Sushi can come back and try to win it last minute. I mean, we've seen some crazy stuff from Ruby Sushi. As I said, they've made some game-changing steals, so they're really gonna have to pull something off. You can see they're trying to use utility here. Doji trying to get over, and he does. Really good strategy. I can see what's going on here, and look at that. He opens up a gateway for his team, but oof, gets beams from the side. Not too good for them, as Bacon is able to get some shots with his shack. And now it's Heel Fox getting the heals, but also getting some shots off, and Sledgehammer not having a lot of help here. Blue Jay has to make something happen, has to open something up for his team. Bang! And he does, but will he be able to get some kills? Tries to get it all, takes out Heel Fox. That's not looking good for Blindside here. And here they go for a steal, but it gets knocked down. Blindside's most likely gonna get this here. Gets shot, yeah, and it is. Blindside gets the box. And even though Sushi is able to take them out, Blindside still on top.
Yeah, it was just too little too late, unfortunately, for Sushis. They put up a very good fight, but unfortunately for them, the Blindsides just had too much stall, too much distance, right, and too much space to try to wiggle and weasel their way out of an uncomfortable fight. Eventually, it did get pressured, but the dynamics changed there. It's not about winning that fight. It's all about ensuring they can't tap in time, and that they absolutely succeeded in.
Yeah, we're going to see in this next fight. If I were Ruby Sushi, I'd be a little bit nervous because they cannot afford to lose again. And even though they do have maintenance of this box, they have to plug it here, and they have to make sure that they're playing at their absolute peak. Oof. And here we go. Ruby Sushi's right now taking a lot of damage. Does a lot of damage in return. And Vivid doing a really good job of staying alive for his team. We're seeing his POV. Doesn't have a lot of health. And it's a 1v, technically 3 situation. But he's kind of hanging in there, staying alive. And, hey, Heel Fox doing the right thing. Getting in the box. Just trying to get the money right now. So that way, it's going to have to be Sushi that steals.
I'm going to be honest, I don't think Livewire's trying to stay alive there is going to be worth it, because now you're going to see, you know, that poke pressure. You're going to see a lot that's going on here, that thrashing and bashing. And yeah, there it is, 2 going down. This is why you want to try to stay together and reset. My goodness, Blue Jay does not care, is going to take that fight in open space and still win it, completely supported by Vivid. Vivid has been such a hero medium underdog, right? Medium's kind of that forgotten player, but their effects can be real in what they enable, as we clearly saw from that outstanding push to shut down Blindside.
Absolutely, and look at this here. Ruby Tuesday now has Ruby Tuesday. Come on, chat. Can we say Ruby Sushi just for once? Man, I want some Ruby Tuesday. It's pretty good stuff over there. But Ruby Sushi hanging on. I do. I actually have a Ruby Tuesday in my area. It's pretty good. They got some good stuff. But man, they don't have sushi. So I wonder where Ruby Sushi came from. I mean, it's probably from, you know, nice Ruby RPG being the top rank. But yeah, really nice RPG there. And we're gonna see right here, Ruby Sushi trying to hang on. Sledgehammer creating some openings, trying to play underneath, and Blindside just jumping straight on them, trying to get there, doing a good job of hanging on underneath, and boom, goes down to Sledge. Ruby Sushi doing a great job of hanging on to this box. Blindside's trying to make a play, trying to make something happen, but Sushi's just not going down, not taking a lot of damage here. Blindside making their way in. Are they getting a res? Is that a res that they're getting? Yes, they did. They got Heel Fox up and now back to a 3v3, but do they have enough time? They're going to have to make something happen. Sledge comes in hot, and they do. Ooh, they almost take out Blue Jay, but Blue Jay's just doing all the damage, and all of Blindside goes out, making it a tie game. we're going to be going on to the final box of the final game. It is all down to this, completely even. Ruby Sushi and Blindside, it is literally down to this last box. Whoever wins this is going to win it all. This is the most important play of the game. Every shot, every elimination, every heal, and every steal is going to matter. Everything they have done in the past hour or two is leading up to this moment. They're really going to have to lock in, really going to have to perform, and really show who is worth it to win.
Well, and the thing that was so tragic about that last fight out that we just saw was, yeah, Blue Jay went low, but Vivid and Blue Jay have been paired together. When those two are together, you're not getting that player down. But Blindside saw an opportunity that just didn't exist, and they paid the price for it dearly. Blindside has to be better and more careful about that, but Blue Jay has been able to find a gap. But here's the big thing. Now Blue Jay is isolated from the vault. The vault is still above, and they can now recover as they please and try to target one if they want, but they're in a nasty crossfire. It's gonna dish out major damage. That's gonna be Bacon going down. Heal Fox very low, but they do manage to catch Vivid. That's huge. They want to put the hurt on Blue Jay, but the health was too high. Blue Jay was in just the right spot. That's that positional superiority I was talking about, and it's gonna be what it takes to bring down Blindside, and now they're gonna be able, in rapid succession, hug that cash out, and they're going to have ample time to set up. This is a golden ticket to bring it home for Sushis and a nightmare scenario for Blindside, especially with where the cash out is. This is tough.
And look at this, Sushi's controlling right now. They are the ones in the lead, and Blindside is going to have to pull something off. They're going to have to steal here. They may have 1 to 2 opportunities potentially. If they get wiped early, they're going to have one more. But if this fight gets dragged out, this is going to be their shot to win it all. They're really going to have to play smart. They're going to have to come up with a strategy to get inside on them. And you can see they're taking the top, trying to create some holes, trying to create the space to add confusion. But hey, Sushi knows exactly where they're coming from. So, and look at this. Oh, we're seeing Doji playing around. Will he be able to get some shots? I think he's got to grapple up somehow. He's not able to get height. And will he get around them? Oh, some shots here again. Heel Fox getting some shots. And look at that. Doji getting some shots from behind, taking out a lot of Blindside. And now it's just down to Bacon. Oh, it's not looking good for Blindside. Blindside is the one that has to seal here. Ruby just holding on. And honestly, if they wipe, it should be okay. And they do go down. Blindside unfortunately gets wiped there. But as I said, it was fast enough to where they have enough time. But it's going to be tight here. Ruby Sushis, I know they are feeling good. They are getting hype right now in their voice comms. They are going crazy because they know they are just moments away from being victorious.
Honestly, as long as Vivid stays alive, I'm going to be honest, I think this is over. I really don't see how they can recover this. This is going to have to be an incredibly fast and very targeted attack if they want to be able to save this. And yeah, we're going to see this final attempt go out. There's the dome shield, the RPG, but yeah, it's simply too late. Yeah, congratulations to Sushi. I mean, such an incredible performance. I mean, from the Vivid sustain to Doji enabling that setup, and also we can't ever forget about Blue Jay with the amazing positioning and gap coverage.
And man, take a look at this. Blue Jay really performing once again, 11-3, showing why he is the best gold sledgehammer to ever live. Look at that, 11-3, completely popping off and showing, hey, you don't need a gun, all you need is sledgehammer, and showing that, hey, melee might actually be the meta for this season. Great job from Ruby Sushis. Congratulations. Such an amazing gameplay. And hey, Blindside almost had that, but you know, they just fell short ever so slightly. It was this close.